Hello everyone, the September CPI was just released this morning, and this chart shows you the headline CPI. It's up 2.4% from a year ago, hotter than the 2.3% expected, and it's up 0.2% for the month, which is hotter than the 0.1% expected. The key contributors of the monthly increase of the CPI is core services, which is represented in blue over here, and we have the food cost being one of the major contributor, which is yellow over here. This is the chart of core inflation, which is CPI overall inflation minus energy and food. Overall, the core inflation year-over-year change is up 3.3%. It's hotter than the 3.2% expected. For the month of September, it's up 0.3%, hotter than the expected 0.2%. This chart shows the super core index, which is core CPI excluding shelter. Okay, no shelter component. It's up 4.6% year over year, and it's up 0.55% for the month. Okay, and year over year wise, we can see it's the number is getting bigger than the previous report. In the super core CPI, the largest contributors are transportation services cost. Okay, transportation services is here, and that's the blue bar here. Okay, and we also we captured the record high auto insurance cost. Okay, and there is another major contributor, which is the medical care supplies. Okay, which is over here, the orange. Medical care supplies. So where are we heading next? Okay, this chart is super important and super interesting. It shows you the M2 money supply, which is the red line, versus the blue CPI. Okay, so they're graphed on the same chart, but the CPI on the chart is shifted to the left. Okay, to the left by 16 months. Because CPI has a lagging effect. So to match the two charts up, CPI is shifted to the left. Okay, and as we can see, the peak and the peak are being matched up over here. Once you shift at 16 months, it actually suggests that as we can see the two patterns, right? The CPI is kind of following the same pattern as the M2 money supply once you shift it. But M2 money supply is not also known as the money creation, or the total amount of money in circulation plus people's bank account and savings account. Okay, and so why does the CPI follow the M2 money supply chart? It's because when M2 money supply increases, it tells us there is more money available in the economy, and the household and the businesses have more spending power. And when they have more spending power, it drives up the demand. And when the demand no longer matches the supply, it causes what? Inflation. Okay, it causes inflation. So what we are seeing is that once you match up the two charts, right, the M2 money supply since the first half of 2023 actually went in a different direction. Okay, this is first half of 2023. The red line was downtrending, right, and the downtrend finishes in the first half of 2023, start going back up, and that's a little bit scary because once we shift the CPI 60 months to the left, that's where we are right now, and they're at the same location. What does that imply? That implies that in the future, there are upward pressure for the blue line as well, which is the CPI. So ahead of us, there is upward pressure for the inflation. Okay, and overall, as we can see, the report is hot. Right, overall, it's hot. Every number reported is hotter than expected, and it tells us that it's telling the market that the Federal Reserve is definitely not ready for another large size rate cut of 0.5% like September. So right now, Fed Watch tool capture the Fed funds future, captures the probability of the future rate cuts. The market is expecting 87% probability of a 0.25 cut in the next meeting in November, and 88% probability of another 0.25 cut in December meeting. Okay, so for the next two meetings before the year end, market is pricing in a very high chance of only 0.25% rate cuts. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe.